But that wasn't, we didn't do it properly the first time and they were frustrated. Other questions? Does this seem like a lot of work to you guys? I'll be honest that I loved hearing about all those people in Northridge who get course relief or financial assistance for that. Because I'm a California native and I'm thinking that's looking pretty good to go home for a while and be out in the winter and join theirs. No, just kidding. But there's not a ton of support for this, I'll be honest. And I don't mean that from the digital first guys. I mean, the ODE couldn't be better. Mike Hoffer is an amazing person. Every person who works for him is amazing. But I don't get any break. And when I was filling out my documents for promotion, there's nowhere to put iTunes U on that. There's nowhere to put the iBook. There's nowhere to put the amount of hours that went into creating this. So if you're going to do it because you think it's going to get you more money or that you're going to get patted on the head by your department, I can't guarantee that. I can tell you that I have smarter students though. And I have students who are doing things that I never imagined they'd be able to do. And so to me, that, I don't mean to sound like I'm, again, Pollyanna-ish, but that is the payment for me, is to see how engaged they are every day and to see how much improved they are over just so much faster, so much more equipped. They're thinking critically in ways that I have not seen in a lot of my students in the past. They're feeling their way through things that in the past they would have relied on me to do for them. And they are really, really engaged in this process now. And that is just more payoff than I can put money into. Yeah.
You mentioned spending the summer in the basement recording all of your lectures.
It was cool down there.
Why can't you do it one thing at a time, as you would prepare it now, one lecture at a time as the course is going on?
The reason that I didn't want to do that is I want the course in its entirety up when I'm ready to push that button. So when I launch an iTunes U course, the whole thing's ready to go. That doesn't mean I don't add to it, but it's pretty comprehensive. And if I didn't add anything to it, it would still be navigatable in its entirety. So I need it to be, part of, I think, the benefit is that when students want to move ahead, they get to do that. Or they want to, I had a student who wanted to tackle a speech. Well, speech writing, actually they're supposed to be watching their speech lectures right now, but he wanted to do a speech 3 weeks ago. So rather than me having to wait till I get to speeches, that's part of the process of them moving so much faster. They can watch the speech information now. And, really, they've watched almost all of the lectures that they will need to do work by this point in the semester. And now they're just working. Like, they're spending all of their hours working. And that's what enabled them to move so much faster, is I didn't have to wait until that hour rolled around that I had time to teach them something. They can learn it at whatever rate they want to, and I'm pushing them faster. I'm saying, look, I need you to at least get this material under your belt. You don't have to master it, you have to be familiar with it. And their familiarity is what drives their curiosity. And it's what makes them think, hey, I studied speeches. You know what? There's this really awesome person coming to speak at the union. I'm going to go cover that for the Lantern now because I have a level of comfort that I didn't have before. So unfortunately, the pacing changes when you teach this way. Yeah. Oh.
What still doesn't work if you're in charge of Apple or OSU for a week? What would you tell them we need to change course on this for?
We need more iPads, desperately. I'm begging every day for more iPads. I tweeted out today I needed more iPads. The time is one of the bigger ones. I mean, I don't sleep a lot and I don't have any hobbies. And that's why, and my kid's 13 tomorrow, God love him. So I don't have a ton of things that are drawing my attention away from this, and I love doing it. But if you have other things to do, like, Steve's gonna have his second kid back there, you have hobbies, you have spouses, you have things to do, there's not a ton of time to do this. I teach 4 classes a semester, and I do a service learning project off campus. So if I didn't love this as much as I do, I don't know where I'd find the time to do it. That's the biggest challenge. And our own education, we don't come, our students, I don't know if you guys have noticed, are different than we are in that, how many of you are fiddlers? Like, you get something new and you fiddle with it until you figure out how to use it. Anybody? Yeah. How many of you think our students are just like us? Yeah, they don't fiddle as much as we did. So you have to really know it in order to be able to answer the questions that they have. And that's the other challenge, is if you don't come equipped with it, if you can't get them the answer in pretty quick fashion, they're not coming back to you on that one. Like, they're dismissing it and they're moving on to what's easier for them.
And we did have, sorry, two things that did come up during Nicole's grant process and implementation that she didn't mention that were challenges specifically. First, Cal State kind of mentioned the non-tethered teaching. That has been a concern of Nicole's, but she
Yes.
would very much love to be able to walk around.
I'm
the
in a
classroom,
bad room for that.
you know, and do that, and we're working on that. A little slower than I'd like, but and the second thing that we've run into was more with